Methods of teaching മൂന്നാമത്തത് bilingual method. This method not as prominent as grammar translation method or direct method. Grammar translation method ഓ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ direct method പോലെ prominent അല്ല bilingual method. ഇത് റീസെന്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തത് CJ Dodson of Wales ആണ്. This method makes use of the first language in learning the second language. ഈ മെത്തേഡിൽ എന്താണ് സെക്കൻഡ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് പഠിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ഫസ്റ്റ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നു. CJ Dodson of Wales റെക്കമെൻഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് he recommended controlled and limited use of mother tongue in teaching the second language. കൺട്രോൾഡ് ആൻഡ് ലിമിറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് മാതൃഭാഷ ഉപയോഗിച്ച് സെക്കൻഡ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് പഠിപ്പിക്കുക എന്നതാണ്. അതിലെ മെയിൻ പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾസ്: സിറ്റുവേഷൻസ് ആർ സിഗ്നിഫിക്കൻറ്റ്, ഓൾ ദ ലാംഗ്വേജ് സ്കിൽസ് ആർ ഈക്വലി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്, fluency of speech is constantly attended to, oral skills has priority in the early stages. The understanding of words and sentences in foreign languages can be made easier by the use of mother tongue. There is no need to create artificial situations for explaining the meaning of words and sentences of the target language. Bilingual method is the combination of the direct method and grammar translation method. General phases of a bilingual class. Basic sentences in the second language are spoken by the teacher and interpreted for imitation by the students. The students repeat or imitate them. The students are encouraged to speak without a stimulus from the teacher. The student is not allowed to respond in his mother tongue. എന്താണ് ടീച്ചർ സെക്കൻഡ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് മാതൃഭാഷ ഉപയോഗിച്ച് പഠിപ്പിക്കാം, പക്ഷെ കുട്ടികൾ അവരുടെ മാതൃഭാഷയിലെ ടീച്ചർക്ക് മറുപടി പറയാൻ റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ഇതിൽ അനുവദിക്കുന്നില്ല. അതാണ് ബൈലിംഗൽ മെത്തേഡ്. പിന്നെ ഈ മെത്തേഡിന്റെ ക്യാരക്ടറിസ്റ്റിക്സ്: ദ യൂണിറ്റ് ഓഫ് ടീച്ചിങ് ഈസ് എ സെന്റൻസ്. ക്രിയേറ്റിംഗ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻസ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് ഗിവൺ ആസ് മച്ച് ആസ് എംഫസൈസസ് ആസ് ഇൻ ഡയറക്ട് മെത്തേഡ്. Doing exercise in sentence pattern is important. Mother tongue is not used for translation of the whole materials, but only for explaining and interpreting. Mother tongue is used only by the teacher, not by students, and use of mother tongue by the teacher gradually gets reduced in higher classes. ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ ഉയർന്നു വരുന്ന രീതിക്ക് അനുസരിച്ച് മാതൃഭാഷ ഉപയോഗിച്ച് സെക്കൻഡ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത് അധ്യാപകർ കുറച്ചു കൊണ്ടുവരും. ഇനി advantages of bilingual method. The teacher can save time as the mother tongue is used. An average teacher can use this method in the class. It is economical as use of teaching aids is minimum. Mother tongue acquisition rules are helpful in this method. Any disadvantages of bilingual method? If the teachers are not equally conversant in both the languages, this method will not be effective. ടീച്ചർക്ക് രണ്ട് ഭാഷകളിലും പ്രാവീണ്യമില്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ ബൈലിംഗൽ മെത്തേഡ് എന്നുള്ളത് ഒരിക്കലും എഫക്റ്റീവ് ആവില്ല. In cases where the linguistic features of the two languages are entirely different, this method will create confusion among the students. ഈ രണ്ട് ഭാഷയുടെ ലിംഗ്വിസ്റ്റിക് ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് വളരെയധികം വ്യത്യസ്തമായിരിക്കുന്ന സ്ഥിതിക്ക് ഇത് കുട്ടികളിൽ കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കും. This method is not as desirable or applicable in higher classes. ഹയർ ക്ലാസ്സസിൽ ഈ മെത്തേഡ് ഡിസൈറബിളും അല്ല ആപ്ലിക്കബിളും അല്ല. ഇനി അടുത്തത് മെത്തേഡ് ഡോക്ടർ വെസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡ്. ഡോക്ടർ വെസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡിൽ ഡോക്ടർ മൈക്കൽ പി വെസ്റ്റ് formulated a method which initially was known as the new method or the text method, but later came to be known in his name, Dr. West. ഡോക്ടർ മൈക്കൽ പി വെസ്റ്റ് ഫോർമുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത ഒരു മെത്തേഡാണ് ദ ന്യൂ മെത്തേഡ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദ ടെക്സ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡ് എന്ന് പറയപ്പെടുന്നത്. ഇത് പക്ഷെ പിന്നീട് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ പേരിലേക്ക് മാറപ്പെട്ടു, ഡോക്ടർ വെസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്. മെത്തേഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ടീച്ചിങ്ങിലെ നാലാമത്തെ മെത്തേഡ് ഡോക്ടർ വെസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡ്. ഡോക്ടർ വെസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡിന്റെ ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ്: ജുഡീഷ്യസ് യൂസ് ഓഫ് ദ മദർ ടങ്, സ്പെഷ്യൽ ഫോക്കസ് ഓൺ റീഡിംഗ് കോംപ്രിഹെൻഷൻ, സ്പീക്കിംഗ് ഓൾസോ ഈസ് കൺസിഡർഡ്, drill in vocabulary is given, selected vocabulary, provision of supplementary readers, focus on one language skill at a time. ഇനി ഡോക്ടർ വെസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡിന്റെ മെറിറ്റ്സ്: ഇറ്റ് മേക്സ് കെയർഫുൾ സെലക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് vocabulary, it develops power of comprehension, it considers social need of learners, it promotes good silent readers, it develops vocabulary of learners. ഇനി അതിന്റെ ഡിമെറിറ്റ്സ്: ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് against the notion that language is primarily speech, starting with reading is against the psychological principles of language learning, developing reading ability is easier than developing speaking ability is not supported by modern educationists, Language skills other than reading are not given due consideration. It is against the maxim of teaching, proceeds from simple to complex. It does not facilitate integration of language skills in teaching learning process. ഇത്രയാണ് ഡോക്ടർ വെസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡിൻ്റെ ഡീമെറിറ്റ്സ്. അപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവർക്കും അപ്രോച്ചസ് ഓഫ് ടീച്ചിങ് മനസ്സിലായി എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു. അപ്രോച്ചസ് ഓഫ് ടീച്ചിങ് 4 ഉള്ളത്. ഗ്രാമർ ട്രാൻസ്ലേഷൻ മെത്തേഡ്, ഡയറക്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡ്, ബൈലിംഗ്വൽ മെത്തേഡ്, ഡോക്ടർ വെസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡ്. ഇനി സെക്കൻഡ് ചാപ്റ്റർ പെഡഗോജി പ്രാക്ടീസ് ഇൻ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലെ സെക്കൻഡ് ചാപ്റ്റർ അപ്രോച്ചസ് ഓഫ് ടീച്ചിങ്. നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ പഠിച്ചത് മെത്തേഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ടീച്ചിങ് ആണ്. ഇനി നമ്മൾ പഠിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് അപ്രോച്ചസ് ഓഫ് ടീച്ചിങ്. അതിൽ 5 അപ്രോച്ചുകളാണുള്ളത്. ഫസ്റ്റ് വൺ സ്ട്രക്ചറൽ അപ്രോച്ച്, നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഹ്യൂമനിസ്റ്റിക് അപ്രോച്ചസ്, തേർഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റീവ് അപ്രോച്ച്, ഫോർത്ത് വൺ ടാസ്ക് ബേസ്ഡ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് ടീച്ചിങ് TBLT, ഫിഫ്ത്ത് വൺ കോമ്പീറ്റൻസ് ബേസ്ഡ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് ടീച്ചിങ് CBLT. Structural approach. Structural approach is the presentation and practice of carefully selected and graded grammatical materials of English in effective and meaningful situations, initially through speech and later through reading and writing. Structural approach is the presentation and practice of carefully selected and graded grammatical materials of English in effective and meaningful situations, initially through speech and later through reading and writing. Structure means the way words and word group are arranged to form meaningful sentences. Structural approach is based on behavioral psychology. Types of structures. In the structural approach, there may be 4 kinds of structures. They are sentence patterns, phrase patterns, formulas, and idioms. Principles of structural approach. Principles. Activity of the learner is more important than the activity of the teacher. Speech is more important for fixing all groundwork. Formation of language habits, meaningful situations. Characteristics. Language is primarily speech. Language is set of habits. New items are presented orally first. Situational presentation. Stress on developing listening comprehension. Teacher is seen as a role model for imitation. Carefully selected and graded language materials. Constant repetition. Great care to prevent learners' errors. Emphasis on accurate pronunciation. Advantages. It improves fluency of speech. It makes students active. It gives sufficient opportunity for expression. It makes use of audio-visual aids. It discourages use of mother tongue. It helps learners acquire mastery of structures. It focuses on all language skills. It follows principle of interest. Limitations. It overemphasizes oral work. It sidelines teaching of literature. It consumes a lot of time. It ignores reading and writing. It neglects vocabulary expansion. It does not make use of pupils' knowledge of mother tongue. It is not suitable for higher classes. It emphasizes the material rather than the learner. Rigid selection makes reading material uninteresting. Selection and grading are not so practical. It stresses on form and disregards meaning. It degenerates drill works to mechanical activity. It requires highly competent teachers. അടുത്ത അപ്രോച്ച് ഹ്യൂമനിസ്റ്റിക് അപ്രോച്ച്. The humanistic approaches to learning evolved out of school environments. They are the latest and most modern thoughts on methodology. Humanistic approach is a language teaching approach that emphasizes humanism as the most significant element in the teaching process. It is a modern approach that sees language learning as a process which engages the whole person, including his intellectual, spiritual, and emotional needs. It upholds the importance of human beings and their welfare. Curriculum. Humanistic curriculum is very broad and flexible. It focuses on what the learners are concerned about. It is based on the need of the pupils. The students have crucial involvement in framing the curriculum. Any subject that facilitates human welfare and development is acceptable to the humanist. The curriculum includes art, literature, music, etc. It offers sufficient scope for activities to be done individually, as pair, and as group. Speech production activities are given attention. Humanistic approach have the following constituents: Suggestopedia, the silent way, total physical response, community language learning, the national approach, task, competence. Suggestopedia is the pedagogic application of suggestions to create pleasant willingness of the students to study. Main principles of Suggestopedia. It is helpful to get access to hidden powers of the mind. Students will use their hidden potential if they are relaxed. Active participation of students helps learn new material easier. The functional aspects of language are emphasized. It requires harmonious blending of the conscious to the unconscious. Next, total physical response (TPR). This method attempts to teach English through physical activity by accompanying appropriate action with speech. The TPR approach has not developed to the grade of a major method. However, it can play an important, effective, and supportive role in the early stages of language learning. Listening comprehension is the basis of total physical response course. Principles of TPR. Meaning is the second language can be best taught through actions. Students learn best by doing. First absorb language, then speak. High degree of success can be seen in total physical response classes. The silent way. This method was developed by Caleb Gattigno, the teacher having very little to speak and the students having to produce as much as possible in the class. The teacher builds on from known to unknown. The teacher's silence encourages students' interaction. The learning atmosphere is peaceful and the students' errors are dealt with without spoiling their self-image. Community language learning. The CLL lays emphasis on hard task-oriented activity in which each one is keen to commit to others' welfare. The 5 stages in community language learning. The embryonic stage with total dependence on teacher. The self-assertion stage when the student takes a little freedom in learning language. The birth stage when the student speaks independently though not perfectly. The reversal stage when the student is secure enough to take correction. The independent stage, the student works on his own with little encouragement from the teacher. Principles of community language learning. Students should feel secure, free from anxieties for effective learning. The teacher or counselor stays out of the learning circle. The teacher neither agrees nor disagrees with learner's performance. To make the learner more secure in reading, in understanding, the teacher uses mother tongue when necessary. To make the learner more secure in understanding, the teacher uses mother tongue when necessary. The fear of a new learning item is removed by fostering community feeling. A tape recorder should be in use. Gradually, the focus from grammar and phonetics should be shifted to actual sharing of ideas, beliefs, opinions, needs, and desires. The natural approach. The natural approach, also known as natural way, refers to the theory of second language learning. General principles of the natural approach. The goal is the ability to communicate with native speakers of the target language. Comprehension precedes production. This is the silent period. The natural way. Stephen Cash's theory of the second language acquisition has had a large impact on all areas of second language teaching and research since 1980. His theory describes very much to the natural way of learning and hence to humanistic approach. He says language acquisition does not require extensive use of conscious grammatical rules and does not require tedious drills. Acquisition requires meaningful interaction in the target language, natural communication in which speakers are concerned not with the form of their utterances, but with the message they are conveying and understanding. Krashen's five major hypotheses are the acquisition learning hypothesis, the monitor hypothesis, the natural order hypothesis, the input hypothesis, the effective filter hypothesis. Third, methods of approaches in teaching. Communicative approach. The aim of communicative approach is communicative competence, as Heyman's calls. Communicative ability is the ability to apply the grammatical rules of a language in order to form grammatically correct sentence with knowledge of when and where to use this sentence appropriately. Language acquisition replaces language learning in the communicative approach because the former is more realistic than natural. Principles of communicative approach. It stresses use of language for a purpose accurately and appropriately. Language learning means acquiring proficiency in communication. The prime focus is the learner. The teacher is not a facilitator. Trial and error method can be followed. Merits of communicative approach. Learning will be a self-generating exercise. Working in pairs, cooperation in language acquisition is gained. Fluency, appropriateness, and accuracy are acquired. Demerits of communicative approach. Communicative competence cannot be realized in overcrowded classes. An average teacher cannot succeed to help students in attaining communicative competency. Students may not take initiative to speak in English. Detailed syllabus and textbooks are yet to be designed. Selection and grading of language items are not favored in communicative approach. Fourth method, task-based language teaching. This is the fourth approach in teaching. The task-based language teaching envisages a situation in which the learner acquires the target language by performing meaningful tasks. Task-based attempts help learners a lot in acquiring the second language the way they acquired the first language. An activity that has communicative value in a school setting. A task means an activity that has communicative value in school setting. Task-based language teaching, their pre-task phase, task phase, and review. TBLT has three phases while teaching their pre-task phase, task phase, review. Fifth one in approaches of teaching is competence-based language teaching, CBLT. This method focuses on helping the learners attain specific competence, enabling them to use language in real-life situations. This is not based on the knowledge of the subject, so it depends on how children can use language. It pays attention to what the students are expected to do with the language. It connects language with the social context in which it is used. The focus is on the results of learning. The main features of this method, the competence-based language teaching, its focus is on competence. It is performance-oriented. Children's competence should be applied well in situations. Children become aware of their behaviors and skills are expected from them. Children became aware of their behaviors and skills are expected from them. Continuous assessment of performance can be done. It is student-centered. Individual attention is possible. Approaches of teaching, structural approach, humanistic approaches, communicative approach, task-based language teaching, competence-based language teaching. Approaches of teaching, structural approach, humanistic approach, communicative approach, task-based language teaching, competence-based language teaching.